Have you ever encountered someone who appears pleasant and speaks appropriately, yet something deep within signals that all is not well? Have you experienced that underlying tension and inexplicable unease? A gut feeling murmuring, "There's something amiss beneath that pleasant exterior." Carl Jung, among the most profound investigators of human consciousness, introduced a compelling idea known as the shadow. This shadow represents our concealed aspects, the feelings we push down, the impulses we refuse to acknowledge that eventually emerge in the world through masked expressions. When individuals experience jealousy, bitterness, or animosity, they typically avoid direct expression. Yet these feelings persist, and with careful observation, you'll detect them. Despite their attempts at concealment, the indicators remain visible. Therefore, in this discussion, I'll uncover 8 clear indicators that someone in your circle secretly holds negative feelings, regardless of their friendly facade. Exercise caution, as the 8th indicator proves most perilous and may permanently alter your perception of certain individuals in your circle. Before proceeding, consider subscribing to remain updated on content focused on personal development and spiritual advancement. Let's explore these patterns. The first indicator involves disdain, masked as wit. Concealed animosity doesn't always manifest obviously. Certain individuals channel it through cutting humor, indirect criticisms, or sharp wit. They mock elements they understand affect you deeply, your looks, your history, your aspirations, and when you respond, they claim, "It was merely humor. Stop being overly sensitive." Where's your sense of humor? This pattern proves harmful because it creates hurt and bewilderment while they preserve their innocent appearance. However, consistent sarcasm targeting particular subjects rarely constitutes simple entertainment. It typically signals underlying disdain. Carl Jung observed that when individuals suppress aspects of themselves, these parts frequently become projected onto others. Therefore, when someone persistently uses humor to attack certain facets of your character, they're exposing parts of themselves they cannot embrace. The second indicator manifests as quiet undermining. When someone near you feels intimidated by your progress, they may begin undermining you through subtle, indirect methods. Not overtly or obviously, but through gentle sabotage. This appears as poor guidance, convenient memory lapses, or crucial information they happen to omit. A companion who neglects to mention an important gathering, a co-worker who provides incorrect details before a crucial deadline, someone who consistently creates complications during pivotal moments. If these errors occur once, it's acceptable. However, when they repeat constantly, particularly during critical times, it transcends mere forgetfulness. It becomes concealed sabotage. Jung explained that individuals lacking courage to confront their own shortcomings often project their frustration onto others and undermine them, sometimes unconsciously, to prevent feeling inadequate. The third indicator presents itself as quiet rivalry. Some individuals cannot tolerate witnessing your success unless they're achieving greater results. Each time you share positive developments, they feel compelled to surpass your news or redirect attention to themselves. You mention, "I received that promotion." They respond, "Yes, I accomplished that ages ago." You discuss your fresh concept. Suddenly, they possess something more impressive or superior. This type of rivalry isn't lighthearted. It's understated, and gradually it erodes your self-assurance. Carl Jung believed projection frequently occurs when someone recognizes in others what they cannot cultivate within themselves. When they feel inadequate, they attempt to diminish you to avoid confronting their own uncertainties. When every discussion becomes a contest, you're not experiencing friendship. You're engaged in a silent conflict. The fourth indicator appears as surface-level encouragement. People who privately harbor resentment toward you often simulate support, but merely superficially. They express pleasant words, yet lack genuine warmth. They declare, "I'm pleased for you," but their enthusiasm feels hollow. When you genuinely require their assistance, they remain unavailable. They consistently offer excuses. This becomes particularly evident during significant moments in your life when you anticipate authentic support but encounter silence or coldness instead. Jung discussed ego dissociation, a process that separates people from their genuine emotions. This creates emotional distance and prevents them from truly supporting those around them. You perceive this as coolness, indifference, emotional vacancy. Over time, you begin questioning why you consistently feel isolated when around this person. The fifth indicator manifests as manipulation disguised as caring. Some people attempt to direct your life while claiming they're simply protecting your interests. They continuously advise you on your choices. They find fault with your decisions. They instill uncertainty about your objectives. All of this gets wrapped in phrases like, "I simply care about your well-being. I don't want to see you harmed." However, the reality differs. This isn't about your welfare. It concerns their anxiety about losing influence. Carl Jung stated that people who cannot manage their internal turmoil often attempt to control others to avoid confronting their own instability. Genuine concern makes you feel empowered. This type of concern makes you feel diminished, vulnerable, and reliant. The sixth indicator involves rumors and misrepresentation. People who secretly dislike you rarely address you directly. Instead, they discuss you with others. They criticize you when you're absent. They magnify your weaknesses. They circulate stories, often subtle enough to harm your reputation without detection. You'll recognize this when people begin treating you coldly without apparent reason. If your companions or colleagues suddenly become distant, investigate further. Someone might be sharing a distorted version of your character. Jung believed that when people feel uncertain or embarrassed, they attempt to transfer that embarrassment onto others by secretly undermining them. When someone speaks negatively about you, they reveal more about their own pain than about your character. The seventh indicator shows itself as absence of celebration in your achievements. Genuine companions rejoice in your victories. They experience happiness when you succeed. However, someone who secretly resents you struggles even to pretend. You share news of your accomplishment, and they respond, "Oh, that's nice. I did something similar previously." They either minimize your success or quickly shift the conversation elsewhere. Carl Jung explained that people unable to feel joy for others are frequently battling an internal struggle where your success reminds them of their failures. Rather than applauding your achievement, they reduce your triumph. When someone consistently responds coldly when you excel, it's not coincidental. It's a revealing symptom. The eighth indicator represents nonverbal betrayal. This proves the most subtle yet most dangerous sign because it exists not in their speech, but in their presence. A look that avoids meeting yours during conversation. A smile that appears manufactured. A quiet moment that feels unusually weighted. When you mention your successes, their posture tightens, their voice shifts, their tone becomes flat. Carl Jung said that even when someone conceals their emotions, the body reveals truth. The unconscious mind always shows through. You might not possess proof, but you sense it instinctively in the atmosphere surrounding them. Your intuition detects it long before your reasoning mind recognizes the pattern. Not every adversary approaches with obvious hostility. Some arrive wearing pleasant expressions. Carl Jung didn't encourage us to fear others. He taught us to perceive them accurately, to recognize the hidden aspects of human psychology so we could safeguard ourselves. Therefore, pay attention to that quiet inner voice. It possesses knowledge. The more you trust this guidance, the less influence their pretense will hold. If this content resonated with you deeply, you're already progressing on this path. Stay connected for ongoing insights into personal transformation and inner growth. Until our next discussion, remain aware, stay vigilant, and never dismiss what your inner wisdom attempts to communicate.